Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here on Daybreak. Thursdays at this time, we focus on Shelton, brought to you by our Community Credit Union, and I'm happy to have Interim Assistant City Manager Bob Jean, Mayor Bob Rogers, and Interim City Manager Vicki Look on the air with me today. Good morning, y'all. How you doing?
Morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doing good.
See you guys. We are working through the process of finding a new city manager. Bob, Jean, let's start with you and talk to us a little bit about how things are going on the recruitment, and then we'll kind of go over some of the folks who have moved through.
Yeah, the mayor will talk about the 4 finalists we're down to, but I'm real happy with the process. The prior city commission got the ball rolling before we even had the current council elected. And the commission interviewed all the council candidates. We had a group of citizens. All of those folks developed the profile working with the consultant, Bob Slavin out of Georgia. We did a nationwide recruitment. We had candidates from the Northwest. We had 24 candidates total.
Wow.
From the Northwest and around the country. And we've got a community open house coming up on Monday night. The interviews will be Monday and Tuesday. And we've got, again, citizens and staff panels working with the council on Monday and Tuesday. And there'll be an open house on Monday night at 6 o'clock at City Hall. So real happy with the process, a lot of community involvement, and I think 4 good, strong candidates. So
Out of 24, I mean, that's got to be pretty encouraging to get that a number of folks interested in the job. Mayor Rogers, talk to me a little bit about the 4 finalists who folks will get a chance to be introduced to and learn from.
Okay. Well, just want to reinforce what Bob said. I know as candidates, we appreciated the process because we were involved, that we were not elected at the point. And the council's gone through all the applicants, and we came down to 4. Some of them were recommended, some of them we pulled from the batch. The first one is Brant Clark. He's out of Broken Bow, Nebraska, which is a county seat kind of in central Nebraska. He's been there. He's managed 2 cities with 11 years of local experience, plus 2 years of economic development experience. So he's well qualified. We also have Henry Lawrence, who's the city administrator out of Eagle Point, Oregon, which is down near Medford. He's also fairly local. He was the first city manager at the new town of Edgewood, Washington, which is over in Pierce County.
Okay, yeah.
He's been a city manager and city experience for, I think, about 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have another candidate, William Vance, who's out of let me pronounce this, Pickerington, Ohio, which is near Columbus. I don't know Ohio that well. He's been with 4 cities over a course of a 23-year career. So again, another experienced city manager, administrator. And finally, we have Bryan Langham, who works for the Washington Department of Transportation. He lives here in the Shelton area.
Oh, okay.
And a strong candidate with good managerial experience and lots of budgeting experience. And we look forward to hearing from him.
Yeah, very neat.
And all 4 candidates will be at the open house on Monday at 6.
And so, Vicki, citizens are welcome to come in and kind of bend their ear a little bit if there's time allowed, or?
Sure, absolutely. It starts at 6 p.m. And this is after the council does initial interview with the 4 candidates earlier that day. And then 6 o'clock, everybody comes in. We're going to have a few bit of refreshments and hear a little bit about their backgrounds from themselves. And then they'll have time to mingle and talk to people. So we figure it'll be about from 6 to about 7:30.
Okay.
So yes, and we will have comment cards available to the citizens that do come in, and so that they can make comments, and we'll take those and pass those along to the council after the open house.
Okay. Bob, Jean, then after that, where does the process go from there?
Well, Tuesday is the real formal part of the process. Monday afternoon is a little softer interview with council and the candidates. But Tuesday is we get serious. We've got 3 panels. The council is obviously the main panel. And then we have a technical skills panel of staff and community leaders. And then we have a leadership management panel of, again, mix of staff and community. And so those interviews will pretty much wrap up by about 2 o'clock. And then the report outs from the panels will go to the council, obviously with the panelists there, hearing everything. And basically passing on to the council what they saw and their impressions. And then they close the doors to everybody except the council and the consultant. And the council goes about the process of selecting their preferred candidate and maybe an alternate and calling them back and hopefully having a tentative agreement that day.
Wow. So we could be finding out who the new Shelton City Manager is by Wednesday?
I think the idea would be for them to be able to go back to they're all employed.
Oh, okay.
And so they would want to go back to their cities
Sure. Okay.
and make an announcement. I would hope that we'd have a tentative agreement and then get a formal agreement approved that first meeting in August.
Okay.
And I think most candidates will wait until that agreement's approved. But we should have an announcement there. Probably August 7, I think, is the first council meeting.
First council
Wow.
meeting.
So it'll move pretty
It
quickly
is
at
pretty
that
quick.
point.
Yeah, just a few weeks away. Very neat. What's the citizen input been like that has either talked with you guys in these formal settings or just on the streets as you're walking around? What are people saying about who they have maybe heard or what they are looking for, and where we go from there, Bob?
I've heard no input specifically about individuals. I've heard lots of input about the type of person people feel we need, and I think it's consistent. They want a good manager who communicates well both with the council and with the citizens, and I think that's high on our list. And beyond that, everyone seems to have a different next priority or other priorities. I don't think any of them were unusual. It's just people
Sure.
view it differently, and I'm sure we're going to have that on the council. There's different weights that we put on different skills, and we'll have a great discussion because we have some strong candidates, and it's nice to have ability to kind of rank people that are all fairly well qualified.
And then how will the city manager and the council work together?
Well, the model for our city council is basically the private industry with the board of directors and the CEO, and the council is the board of directors, and it's critical that we hire, not only for us, but for the city and for our community, a person that's our most important decision. And so that person will implement our policy that we pass with citizen input, but he'll be the chief executive for the city. He'll manage the staff, and it's really critical that we get the right person for that job.
Assistant City Manager Bob Jean, Interim City Manager Vicki Look, and Mayor Bob Rogers on today for the focus on Shelton, and a very exciting time as we're just a few weeks away from finding out who the next city manager is for the city of Shelton. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Good to see you all.